Tropic Thunder. This movie came out 10 years ago. We're going back to August 2008 for this month's rerun review. This movie obviously stars Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise, Matthew McConaughey, Jack Black, Steve Coogan, Danny McBride. It goes on. It's a pretty surprisingly big cast. It's also directed and written by Ben Stiller. And this movie follows the story of a cast of a movie, an upcoming war movie. They're all actors and they actually get sent out into like a real war scenario to try to make a good film. And it doesn't go too well. Now, this movie is so ridiculous. I mean, from the get-go, you know this. If you know what this movie is, you know this is ridiculous. And this is actually a movie I remember seeing, like, not right when it came out, but within a few years of when it came out. And I was like, I enjoyed that. And then after the years passed and I was like 14 or 15, I was like, was that movie good or was that movie so bad that it was good? And that's always kind of had a thought in my mind, is this movie good or is this guilty pleasure good? Because it's so ridiculous, so over the top, how can this movie be good? But I rewatched it and it damn well is good. I don't get it, I can't explain it, and it really shouldn't be, but this movie actually works really, really well. This movie is hilarious, it does a lot of things right comedy-wise. Now, obviously it is a comedy, it is an action comedy, but it is a comedy. So anytime you commit to being a comedy and that is your main point of your movie, it's hard because you're saying, if you don't laugh, what else am I going to give you? This movie tries to give you more, which I like, but obviously leans on the comedy, and I think this usually works. I think majority of the characters are really funny, majority of the scenes are really funny. Tom Cruise was a really highlight part of this movie. He was really, really good as like a side character. He was really funny. Ben Stiller, Robert Downey Jr., all the main five casts have really funny scenes, and the first part of this movie, it starts off with introducing you to these actors. So they're obviously, Robert Downey Jr. isn't playing Robert Downey Jr., he's playing Kirk Lazarus, and Ben Stiller's playing Tug Speedman. Jack Black's playing, I think it's Jeff Pomeroy or something along those lines. I'm not 100% on that name, and it shows their actual movies, and it shows these trailers that they've made for these fake actors. They're hilarious. They're some of the funniest trailers you'll see for anything. Even if you haven't want to see this movie, just go and watch that little snippet because that's hilarious. Those trailers are so funny. And that's a big thing I think this movie has going for it. It kind of digs out and plays with the whole movie production field and actors and stuff like that. And I think that really works. It makes fun out of, what movies they're doing and if they're committing to franchises for the money or why they're doing these movies or what is this actor doing off screen and stuff like that. They really play into that. I think it's really funny. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. takes a big risk in this movie and it definitely pays off. I mean, you shouldn't be offended by this movie. I know it can come off as offensive because he's blackface, but he's not blackface. His actor got a surgery to commit to the character. So the actor Kirk Lazarus is actually got, I don't know what he does. It does the surgery to make his skin look that way so he can play this character, and that is part of who Kirk Lazarus is. He's a committed actor and he will go further and beyond than a lot of people will. And I don't think people should be offended by that because it's not made that way. But I think it's hard to pull off, and he did very well. And I think the actors are a real pulling point for this movie because they are hilarious. They're fun to watch. The action's there. It actually has a few fun action things. Not like, fantastic, great cinematography and stuff like that, but they're just fun stuff to happen on screen and you enjoy it. And there's some fun stuff in there action-wise, which is something that you don't necessarily always get. And I think they gave some, a deeper comedy than usual. And I think that's where this movie really works because it's not just a run-of-the-mill comedy. They're going to give you all these big actors to go and see and go, bang, now make us laugh. And if you don't, the movie's going to suck. And I think even at this point, I think some people will probably still see that because it is a comedy. If you don't make me laugh, probably not going to like it. I think this movie does make me laugh, and I feel like if you don't like it, it's probably because of that reason, but it also gives you more than that. It gives you these characters and these actors that are fun to watch. You get to see some cool stuff. The action stuff, the depth in this movie is actually surprisingly there. Obviously, it's not going to win any Oscars. It's not a great, directed film that you're going to go, wow, that direction was really good. Look at that lighting. Look at the cinematography. No, it's not like that. But it is a movie that surprisingly delivers. And I think I would definitely recommend you watching this if you haven't already. It's not one that I burst out, going, everyone should see. But I think it's actually surprisingly good when you go back and go, I know, I actually want to rewatch this one. That actually holds up really well, which is, as I said, it's so over the top. It's so surprising they got this film to work. And I feel like they very much did. I'm giving Tropic Thunder a B. Now that is a very strong B because this movie is hilarious. As I said, with comedies, you're kind of in a gauge for me when it's like C- or C+. C- obviously didn't deliver. C averagely, and then C plus like a ridiculous, a fun comedy, and then you got the really good ones that go to like a B minus, or a bad ones that go like to the Ds. This one I think gets the B. It's a very strong B because I think it works into more of a depth than every comedy does have, which I really liked. This is a movie I kind of just thought out to doing because I did look at what are the biggest grossing summer movies, August movies of all time, and this one was on the list. 2008. I'm like, all right, it's been 10 years. Like Dark Knight was, I think, was it last month I did Dark Knight as my rerun movie because that was 10 years. I got something really good already planned for September, one of my favorite movies of all time. Stay ready, stay pumped, and we got October, some Halloween films in there for sure. November, then we got December, Christmas movies. If you guys want to see anything specific, if you want me to review something specific for my review reviews is when I go back and review a movie from the past. Let me know. Let me know what you thought of this review, the film itself. If you liked it, if you didn't, whatever your thoughts, let me know. You can thumb it up, give it a like, the same thing. You get it. Subscribe if you haven't already. But of course, guys, have a good one.